हेलो बच्चों, वेलकम टू गणित अंक। मैथ्स का पेपर कैसे लिखना है, क्या क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्या मुझे पढ़ना चाहिए, कौन से सेक्शन में ज़्यादा कंसंट्रेट करना चाहिए, हर वो चीज़ हर चैप्टर में क्या पूछा जाता है डिटेल में बात करेंगे। अब वी हैव अ सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट। हमारे पास दीपक पाटिल सर है, जो कि जूनियर कॉलेज जो है एमआईटी का, एमआईटी जूनियर कॉलेज कोथरूड में, उसके वाइस प्रिंसिपल भी है। इसके अलावा ये चीफ मॉडरेटर भी रह चुके हैं 2 बार, और अब इससे भी ऊपर वो सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट है। मैथ्स के सब्जेक्ट को लेके वो एडवाइस करते हैं एचएससी बोर्ड में। सो नाउ ही विल एक्सप्लेन एवरीथिंग अबाउट मैथ्स, कि क्या पेपर में आता है, क्या नहीं आता है, क्या ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, कितना क्या किस चॅप्टर से इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो आप देखिएगा एंड ओवर टू यू सर. थँक यू फॉर गिविंग टाइम.
मग काय म्हणता मित्रांनो, अभ्यास झाला ना सगळा? मग आता तुमच्या मनात काही प्रश्न असतील की कमीत कमी प्रयत्नांमध्ये जास्तीत जास्त मार्क कसे मिळवायचे आहेत, कमीत कमी वेळामध्ये जास्तीत जास्त मार्क कसे मिळवायचे आहेत, असा प्रश्न तुमच्या पुढे असू शकतो किंवा असतोच. म्हणजे युजली की कोणाला नको असतं कमी कष्टामध्ये जास्त मार्क, प्रत्येकालाच हवे असतात. मग हे मार्क कसे मिळवायचे आहेत, कुठल्या कुठल्या गोष्टीवरती जास्त लक्ष द्यायचं ते आपण बघूया. तर सगळ्यात आधी फॉर्मॅट ऑफ क्वेश्चन पेपर हे सगळ्यांना तुम्हाला माहिती आहे. तुम्ही सगळ्यांनी प्रिलिम परीक्षा दिलेल्या आहेत. टोटल आपल्याकडे 4 सेक्शन असतात आणि या 4 सेक्शनमध्ये काय असतात, सगळे सेक्शन्स कंपल्सरी करायचे. तुम्हाला कुठेही ऑप्शन ठेवायचा नसतो. ऑल सेक्शन्स आर कंपल्सरी. हो, सगळे सेक्शन कंपल्सरी असतात. आता सेक्शन ए काय असतं, तर सेक्शन ए कंटेन 2 क्वेश्चन्स. सेक्शन एमध्ये काय असतात, 2 क्वेश्चन असतात. कुठले 2 क्वेश्चन असतात? वन इज MCQ क्वेश्चन आणि सेकंड वन इज व्हेरी शॉर्ट, म्हणजे 1 मार्कवाला क्वेश्चन. सो इन MCQ क्वेश्चन टोटल 8 MCQs आर देअर अँड आउट ऑफ 8 4 आर फ्रॉम M1 अँड 4 आर फ्रॉम M2. M1ची 4 आणि M2चे 4. सेम टू सेम इन क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 क्वेश्चन्स फ्रॉम M1 अँड 2 क्वेश्चन्स फ्रॉम M2 अशी असतात. आता याची उत्तरवर कशी लिहायची ती आपण नंतर डिस्कस करूया. सेक्शन बी आणि सेक्शन डी सेमच असतो बरं का. सेक्शन बी आणि सेक्शन डी सेमच असतो म्हणजे काय की 12 क्वेश्चन्स आर गिवन अँड यू हॅव टू अटेम्प्ट एनी 8. 12 क्वेश्चन्स आर गिवन, यू हॅव टू अटेम्प्ट एनी 8. ओनली द डिफरन्स इज हिअर दे आर 3 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन्स अँड हिअर दे आर 2 मार्क क्वेश्चन. एवढाच फक्त फरक आहे, बाकी कुठलाही डिफरन्स नाही आहे. अगेन आउट ऑफ 12 क्वेश्चन्स 6 questions from M1 and 6 from M2 in both the cases, in both the sections. In section D, so section D is for 20 marks and again there are 8 questions. Out of 8 you have to attempt any 5. Out of 8 4 are from M1, 4 are from M2. So this is our question paper. Now in your question paper theory questions are there. The answer is yes. So how many marks theory questions are there? So as per board rule, there must be at least 15% theory questions in your question paper. At least 15% means what? Approximately 12 marks. So not necessary 12 marks. It may be for 13 marks, 14 marks or 16 marks. Totally depends on paper setter. Paper setter will decide, or when he set the paper, at that time he can set the questions for 12 marks or for 14 marks or for 15 marks. So it's totally based on paper setter. ठीक है, but theory will be there 100% in your question paper. How to write the answer of MCQ? This is very important. So when you write the answer of MCQ, what you have to write? You have to write only the answer. Means what? Suppose one example I am taking here. So write the degree and order of this differential equation. So degree and order. Read the question carefully. When you prepare these questions from the textbook, in your textbook, what is the question? Write what? Order and degree. Yes, all examples are in your textbook are in the form of first they ask the order, then they ask the degree. Find the order and degree, write the order and degree. But here I purposely write degree and order. So if degree and order is asked and order and degree is asked, the sequence of answer or the numbers changes. So here if order degree is asked, your answer will be A. But here degree and order is asked, means your answer is B. So how to write the answer B? So no need to write the complete question. You have to write only that alphabet. This is also allowed. If you write only this answer, this is also allowed. And if you write both alphabet as well as that answer, this is also allowed. But my suggestion is always write the third possible case. write that question number and that alphabet as well as what that answer. We need 5 to 10 seconds to write this. Okay, so only alphabet or only answer, I'm not going to suggest you write that. I'm suggesting you write both alphabet as well as the answer. Okay, write the answer of MCQ only once. एकदाच लिहायचं आहे MCQचं. एकदाच लिहायचं म्हणजे काय, बरीचशी मुलं काय करतात, आपली आन्सर शीट असते त्याच्यामध्ये पेज नंबर 3 वरती लिहिलं आहे, देन अगेन पेज नंबर 15, अगेन पेज नंबर 25, अगेन पेज नंबर 32. सो if you are going to write the answer of MCQ in different pages, we are going to evaluate only the first attempt. जो तुम्ही पहिला केला असेल, समजा पेज नंबर 3 वर केला आहे आणि पेज नंबर 7 वरती पण केला आहे. पेज नंबर 3 वरती तुमचे 8 पैकी 4 बरोबर आहेत, 4 चुकलेत, आणि पेज नंबर 7 वरती तुमचे सगळे बरोबर आहेत, तरी तुम्हाला मार्क मिळणार नाही. त्या पेज नंबर 7 वरचे पहिल्या तुम्ही जे लिहिलं आहे त्याच्यावरचेच मार्क तुम्हाला मिळतील. त्याच्यामुळे तुम्ही काय करायचं आहे, एकदाच MCQचा आन्सर लिहायचं आहे, आणि हा रूल फक्त MCQसाठीच आहे. बाकीचं काय रूल आहे तो तुम्हाला पुढे मी सांगतोच. सो बी केअरफुल, राईट द आन्सर ऑफ MCQ ओनली वन्स. स्टार्ट द न्यू सेक्शन ऑन न्यू पेज. नवीन सेक्शन नवीन पानावरती सुरू करायचा. मग असा काही मुलांचा प्रश्न असतो, सर की सपोज सेक्शन बी मी लिहायला सुरुवात केली, अटेम्प्ट एनी 6 आउट ऑफ व्हॉट 12, बरोबर का? नाही, अटेम्प्ट एनी किती असतात, तिथे मार्क किती असतात, अटेम्प्ट एनी 8 असतं. तर ते 8 अटेम्प्ट करताना 6 M1ची 6 M2ची अशी असतात. त्यातली कुठली करायची ते तुम्हाला चॉईस असतो, तुम्ही ते करणार कुठलं तरी. पण त्याच्यातले तुम्हाला समजा 6च आली, मग उरलेली कशी करणार, उरलेली कधी करणार? तर तुम्हाला वेळ मिळाला तर तुम्ही नंतर शेवटी करू शकता. मग ते काय जागा सोडायची का, तर येस, तुम्ही एखाद दुसरं पेज सोडू शकता. किंवा सेक्शन बी लिहिला, त्याचे तुम्हाला 6च आले, तेवढे दिलं, मग पुढचं सेक्शन सुरू केलं आणि शेवटी तुम्हाला वेळ मिळाला तर तुम्ही पुढचे एक्स्ट्रा सोडवले तरी चालतात. फक्त कंडिशन अशीच आहे की शेवटी लिहिताना क्वेश्चन नंबर लिहायला विसरायचं नाही. परत सांगतोय, क्वेश्चन नंबर लिहायला विसरायचं नाही. मग तुम्ही जो क्वेश्चन शेवटी तरी लिहिला तरी आम्ही तो काउंट करतो आणि तुम्हाला त्याच्या क्वेश्चनचे मार्क मिळतात. ठीक आहे. नंतर LPPमध्ये ग्राफ पेपरची गरज नाही आहे. नो नीड टू यूज ग्राफ पेपर. ओनली रफ स्केच इज एक्सपेक्टेड. Okay, rough sketch is expected. Means what? You have to draw the graph on that graph paper, answer sheet only. X axis, Y axis, this line, this is another line. Okay, then suppose this is shaded portion, then shade this portion, find out this vertices. So rough sketch is expected. Okay, then use of log table and calculator. So calculator is obviously not allowed. No digital devices allowed in board examination for all papers. Okay, so what about log table? Log table is allowed, but my dear friends, is there need to use log table in mathematics? There are some examples in application of differential equation as well as in probability distribution and binomial distribution. There are some examples, their calculations are very tedious, so for that we need a log table. But if you refer previous year question papers, no such a question is asked in board examination. So, and if it is asked, then most of the times that values are provided into the bracket. Root value of root 3 is given, value of log 2 is given, log 2 upon log 3 is given. So that values are always given to you. Why? Because we expect unique answer from each and every student. That's why what happened, that values are given to you. So as per my knowledge and as per previous year experience, no need to use log table. Okay, there is one more reason. There are examples based on this log, and that log are to the base e in mathematics, and log table is to the base 10. So actually to the base 10 values we are not needed to solve the example. Okay, so we use log, natural log, that is base to the E. Then theory questions. So you may have a doubt, sir, which theory questions should be prepared? There are total 15 chapters in our mathematics, 7 from M1 and 8 from M2. So which topic should I prepare? My suggestion is this first 3 chapters from M1 and the next 3 are from M2. So 99% cases theory questions are asked from these 6 chapters only. Then which theory questions should we prepare? There are so many theoretical questions. So in mathematics 1, there are 3 chapters, and from trigonometric function, sine rule, cosine rule, projection rule, Napier's analogy, half angle formulae, this Heron's formula never asked in exam, but it is a theoretical question in that trigonometric function. Then from pair of line, most of the time if you observe, these 2 theorems are got. What is converse? Converse of this theorem. Yes, there are 2 cases, b equal to 0, b not equal to 0, that theorem, converse of this theorem, and your favorite tan theta equals to 2 root h square minus ab upon a plus b wala theorem. Okay? So in vectors, there is a lot of theoretical part. Show that the vectors are collinear, that is the example. But what is the collinear condition? That theorem is provided to you. Coplanarity theorem, that theorem is provided to you. So in these 2 theorems, there is a condition if and only if word is there. What? If and only if. So you have to prove both part. If and only if. You are a student of mathematics, so you know P double implies Q. Means what? P implies Q as well as Q implies P. So first you assume if part and then prove only if part, and conversely assume only if part and prove the if part. So read this carefully. Sometimes they ask only one condition. That is what? They ask only one condition, means only if part they may ask, or only if condition they may ask. So what is asked? Read the question carefully and write that much only. There are so many students, they write each and every proof as it is. So no need to write the proof as it is. What is asked? Write that much only. Now section formula for internal and external division. Yes, their proofs are there in textbook. So write that proofs as it is. Volume of parallelepiped and volume of tetrahedron, their proofs are also there, and these proofs are also asked in board examination. So that's why this is the theory question, or these are the theoretical questions from M1 that you have to prepare. Derivatives. So in derivatives, what? Only 3 theorems are there. Chain rule, this inverse function theorem, and third one is a parametric. So only 3 theorems are there in derivative, and they are not similar, their proofs are similar. The technique to prove these 3 theorems, the technique is similar. Let delta x, delta y, delta t, small increments, and then whatever asked, you know that better than me. Okay. Now in indefinite integral, so theory of product rule, by parts rule, UV rule. This is e raised to x f of x dx. But the proofs of this 3 and this 3, the proofs of these formulas are also there in your textbook. So the proofs of these formulas are also asked in board exam. That's why we have to remember their proofs also. So how to prove this? So we have different techniques. How to prove this? So third and this fifth. Third and fifth we can prove by factorizing this a minus x, a plus x, a plus x minus a, x plus a. Okay. Then we can prove 9th, 10th and 11th by taking into 1 and use this UV rule. So this is U, this is V, this is U, this is V, this is U, this is V. Then also what? We prove the theorems. Such a proofs are given in the textbook. But student can prove by another method also. What is another method? Another method means what? Here I purposely use this color, green color, this is brown color, and this is purple color. So all these 3 can be proved by using substitution x equals to a sin theta. Next 3 we can prove x equals to a tan theta, and last 3 we can prove by putting x equals to a sec theta. So if you remember this technique, you are able to prove these 9 results very easily. So try to understand the techniques. Try to remember the shortcut techniques to prove theory or to solve the example. Again, in definite integral, properties are there. Total 8 properties are there. Out of 8 properties, all properties are important. But out of 8, last 4 properties asked for proof. Because first 4 properties are very straightforward. Within one line we are getting the proof. But without that properties, we can't prove these theorems as well as we can't solve the examples. So all the properties are important, but the proofs of these last 4 are what important for your board examination. You all are familiar with this, you have this everywhere, you will find this. So just look the weightage of M1, weightage of M2. There are some students, they want what 50 मार्क्स म्हणजे पास होणं आहे, मला पास व्हायचं आहे, फक्त जास्त कष्ट, आता मला वेळ नाही माझ्याकडे, मग कसा अभ्यास करू, हाऊ टू प्रिपेअर दिस. सो फॉर दॅट there are some topics in mathematics, if you prepare only that topics, then also you will score at least 50 marks. Means what? Suppose if you don't want to prepare any formula of a derivative, integration, trigonometry, even though you can score at least 50 marks. So if you prepare this topic, which one? Logic, the weightage is 8 marks, matrices 6 marks, LPP 4 marks, pair of line, vector, line plane, probability distribution, binomial distribution. So here in minimum effort, in minimum time, we can prepare these topics and we can score at least 50 marks. Actually its total is 56, but you will get at least 50 marks if you prepare only these topics. It is only for those students, those who have not prepared properly and the exams are in front of you, so we don't have sufficient time. So for that students, otherwise other students score out of marks. So chapter wise we'll discuss. In first chapter, it's very easy chapter, mathematical logic. So when you revise, so which topics are important, which topics we have to revise before the examination. So from this mathematical logic, truth table तुम्हाला येतात मला माहिती आहे सगळं, पण तरी पण ते एकदा बघून घ्यायचे. नंतर इनपुट आउटपुट टेबल, आता कधी वापरायचं असतं मी सांगायची गरज आहे का तुम्हाला? ट्रूथ टेबल कधी वापरायचा असतो? LHS RHS प्रूव्ह करताना जेव्हा स्टेटमेंट फॉर्म असेल तेव्हा, आणि जेव्हा जेव्हा इनपुट आउटपुट म्हणजे सर्किटवरती सम असेल तेव्हा. आणि इन ट्रूथ टेबल वी यूज द सिम्बॉल TF, and in input output table we use the symbol 1 and 0. रिमेंबर दिस, म्हणजे माहिती आहे तुम्हाला तरी सांगतो. नंतर ड्युॲलिटी आहे सोपं, पण लक्षात ठेवा ड्युॲलिटीमध्ये बऱ्याच वेळेला मुलं कधी कधी काय करतात, निगेशन पण चेंज करतात. काय चेंज करायचं असतं माहिती आहे ना तुम्हाला? काय करायचं असतं ड्युअलमध्ये? अँड रिप्लेस बाय ऑर रिप्लेस बाय अँड, टी रिप्लेस बाय एफ रिप्लेस बाय टी, देन स्मॉल टी रिप्लेस बाय स्मॉल सी अँड स्मॉल सी रिप्लेस बाय स्मॉल टी. बस एवढंच, याच्यापेक्षा वेगळा काही शोध लावायचा नाही, काही शोध लावू नका, ह्याच्यातलं लक्षात ठेवा. देन कॉन्व्हर्स, इनव्हर्स, कॉन्ट्रा पॉझिटिव्ह. आता हे सिक्वेंटली विचारतात का? आता कधी कधी काय असतं, एखादा पेपर सेटर काय करतो, फक्त दोनच विचारणार, कॉन्व्हर्स आणि इनव्हर्स किंवा इनव्हर्स आणि कॉन्ट्रा पॉझिटिव्ह. सो तर काय विचारलं ते बघा आणि तेच लिहा. नाही तर आपल्या डोक्यात काय असतं, P इम्प्लाइज Q दिलेलं आहे, मग पुढचं काय असतं, Q इम्प्लाइज P, त्याच्या पुढचं काय असतं, निगेशन P इम्प्लाइज निगेशन Q, आणि नेक्स्ट इज वॉट, निगेशन Q इम्प्लाइज निगेशन P. मग सिक्वेन्स जर चुकवला म्हणजे एखादा पेपर सेटर असं म्हणेल की आधी कॉन्व्हर्सच्या ऐवजी काय इनव्हर्स, कॉन्व्हर्स आणि कॉन्ट्रा पॉझिटिव्ह. आपण ते सिक्वेन्स बघत असेल त्यांनी काय विचारले, किंवा त्यांनी जे सिक्वेन्स विचारली ती लिहितो आणि याचा फॉर्म्युला त्याला, त्याचा फॉर्म्युला यायला, म्हणजे बरोबर असून तुम्ही चुकतात. तर असं करू नका, ठीक आहे. सर्किट जेव्हा तुम्ही ड्रॉ करता त्यावेळेला लेट P Q R बी द स्टेटमेंट्स, म्हणजे लेट P स्विच S1 इज क्लोज, Q स्विच S2 इज क्लोज, हे लिहायला विसरू नका. नंतर लॉज, मुलांना विचार लॉजिक आवडतं का? हो म्हणतात मुलं, लॉजिक खूप सोपं आहे. मग लॉज, आणि ते लॉज फक्त येत नाही बरं का, असं मुलं म्हणतात. असं कसं चालेल? लॉजशिवाय तुम्ही काय करू शकत नाही, सिम्प्लिफाय सर्किटचे सम करू शकत नाही, निगेशनवाली सम करू शकत नाही, आणि LHS इक्वल टू RHS वाला एक क्वेश्चन असं, म्हणजे 4 सम्स बघा पुस्तकामध्ये, विदाऊट युझिंग ट्रूथ टेबल प्रूव्ह द फॉलोइंग. सो त्या केसमध्ये तुम्हाला लॉज असणं माहिती आहे. आता जेव्हा तुम्ही लॉज लिहिता किंवा लॉज वापरता, म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल P ऑर निगेशन P अँड Q असं तुम्ही सम सोडवत आलेला आहे इथपर्यंत, आणि तुम्हाला आता याच्यानंतर काय लिहायचं आहे, P ऑर निगेशन P काय असतं, यू नो 100% इट इज T अँड Q. मग हा लॉ काय आहे, तर लॉचं नावच आठवत नाही. मग मॅथ्समध्ये तो लॉ जरी लिहिला तरी चालतो, निगेशन दिस इज इक्वल्स टू वॉट, ट्रू, ऑर यू कॅन राईट बाय complement law, by identity law, by associative law, write the name of that law or that law itself. मग आता हे पुढचं काय झालं, हे झालं T and Q is equals to what, that statement itself. मग हा झाला आयडेंटिटी लॉ. मग यू राईट बाय आयडेंटिटी लॉ और यू राईट दॅट लॉ इटसेल्फ. ओके, असं मॅथ्समध्ये अलाउड आहे. नंतर क्वांटिफायरचे सम्स आहेत, म्हणजे 7 टॉपिक तुम्ही केले की याचे तुम्हाला 8 मार्क मिळणार. असं लॉजिकमध्ये तुम्ही रिवाईज करायचं आहे, ठीक आहे. नंतर मॅट्रिसेसमध्ये फक्त 5च प्रकारचे सम्स आहेत, रो ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन, कॉलम ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन, ॲडजॉईंट मेथड, आणि पुढची कुठली मेथड आहे, इन्व्हर्जन मेथड, रिडक्शन मेथड. सो तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना आवडणारी मेथड कुठली आहे, ॲडजॉईंट मेथड. पण इथं बरेच मुलं काय करतात, डायरेक्ट आन्सर लिहायचं, तसं नसतं. थेरी पेपर, बोर्ड पेपर लिहिताना सगळ्या स्टेपला मार्क असतात. पहिले काय करणार, मायनर्स काढा, मग को फॅक्टर्स काढा, मग को फॅक्टर मॅट्रिक्स लिहा, मग ॲडजॉइंट मॅट्रिक्स लिहा आणि देन इन्व्हर्स फाईंड करा. इन्व्हर्स विचारला असेल तर, किंवा कधी कधी फक्त राईट द ॲडजॉइंट मॅट्रिक्स, राईट द को फॅक्टर मॅट्रिक्स, जे काय विचारलं त्याप्रमाणे उत्तर द्या. बट रीड द क्वेश्चन केअरफुली अँड राईट इच अँड एव्हरी स्टेप. ठीक आहे. आता इथे रो ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन, कॉलम ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन, जे LHSला ऑपरेशन केलं तेच RHSला करा. बऱ्याच वेळा असं होतं की ऑपरेशन करतो, एका ठिकाणी चुकतो आणि मॅथ्समध्ये काय झालं, एखादी स्टेप चुकली की पुढचं सगळं चुकतं आहे. मग असं करून चालणार नाही. तुम्हाला सगळंच लिहायला पाहिजे, सिस्टमॅटिक लिहायला पाहिजे, कॉन्सन्ट्रेशननी कॅल्क्युलेशन करायला पाहिजे. ठीक आहे. रिडक्शन मेथड माहिती तुम्हाला 3 0 आणायचे असतात. इन्व्हर्जन मेथड माहिती तुम्हाला AX = B हे इक्वेशन असतं. व्हॉट यू हॅव टू डू, X = A इन्व्हर्स B तुम्हाला फाईंड करायचा असतो. सो हा A इन्व्हर्स कसा काढणार, सो यू कॅन यूज एनी मेथड. एनी मेथड म्हणजे काय, आपण ॲडजॉइंटच वापरतो का, कारण त्याच्यामध्ये चुकण्याची शक्यता कमी असते आणि वी आर गेटिंग द आन्सर इन मिनिमम एफर्ट. ओके. सो दिस इज अबाउट matrices. Then trigonometry. So in trigonometry there are 4 type of examples or 4 type of concepts are there. So first is principal solution. So principal value or principal solution. So if sin theta equals to 0 or sin theta equals to half, write the principal value. So you know how to find out. And if the same question is there for general solution, then you have to write general solution. Suppose sin theta = 0, then theta = n pi, we know this. And don't forget to write n belongs to z while writing general solution. And while finding principal solution, there are 2 answers. Why 2 answers? Because principal solution means the values of theta angle lies between 0 to 2 pi. Between 0 to 2 pi means one complete rotation. In this complete rotation there are 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this. First, second, third, fourth. So every trigonometric function is positive in 2 quadrants and negative in 2 quadrants. That's why you have to write what? 2 solutions, 2 principal solutions. And you know general solution. If you remember all the formulas of general solution, suppose sin theta = sin alpha. What is theta? N pi plus -1 raised to n alpha, comma, n belongs to z. So using that formula you will solve the sum. Okay. Then solution of triangle or properties of triangle. Solution of triangle means what? So using sine rule, using cosine rule, projection rule, Napier analogy, that properties you have to use. अजून एक असं मला सांगायचं इकडे की देर आर सम एक्झाम्पल्स विच कॉन बी सॉल्व बाय 2 or more मेथड. मी पुस्तकात दिलं असतं की साइन रूलने केले, पण सर हे प्रोजेक्शनने लवकर येते मला, तर केलं तर चालेल का? ऑब्व्हियसली चालणार. कुठलीही मेथड वापरा, तुम्हाला 100% याचे मार्क मिळणार. नंतर इन्व्हर्स ट्रिग्नोमेट्रीमध्ये सम्स आहेत, कारण इन्व्हर्स ट्रिग्नोमेट्री तुम्हाला इथे आलं तरच तुम्हाला डेरिव्हेटिव्हमध्ये डेरिव्हेटिव्ह ऑफ इन्व्हर्स ट्रिग्नोमेट्री फंक्शन काढता येतं, त्याचे प्रूफ्स करता येतात, अदरवाईज ते करता येत नाही. म्हणून हे फार महत्त्वाचं असतं. आता याच्यामध्ये मुलं चुकतात कुठे याच्यामध्ये, की इथेच तुमचा समजा वरचाच क्वेश्चन मी कॉपी केला, साइन इन्व्हर्स ऑफ हाफ हा इथे साइन थीटा = हाफ, आणि तुम्ही विचारलं साइन इन्व्हर्स ऑफ हाफ. इन्व्हर्स म्हणजे इन्व्हर्स ट्रिग्नोमेट्री, साइन थीटा म्हणजे हा त्याच्यावरचा प्रश्न आहे, साधी गोष्ट आहे. पण इथे काय होतं, इथे तुम्हाला एकच प्रिन्सिपल व्हॅल्यू लिहायची असते. इथे किती सांगितलं तुम्हाला? 2 प्रिन्सिपल सोल्युशन. इथे किती सांगतोय तुम्हाला? एकच. का? बिकॉज साइन इन्व्हर्स, टॅन इन्व्हर्स अँड व्हॉट? साइन, टॅन अँड कोसेक इन्व्हर्स. You all are familiar with their domain and their range. Okay, so they belongs to one family. And next 3, cos inverse, cot inverse and sec inverse. These 3 belongs to another family. Family means what? Here we have to take the value between -π/2 to +π/2. And this second case 0 to pi. So here as I told you, there are 4 quadrants. There are 4 quadrants, 0 to 2 pi, one rotation is there. Here only half part is there. So for -π/2 to +π/2 means what? First quadrant or fourth quadrant. So here there is positive and this is negative. So we are getting only one value, positive, only one getting negative. Means sin inverse of half, then we get answer from first quadrant. If it is -half, your answer must be between fourth quadrant. Okay, fourth quadrant means from between -90 to 0. And when the question is for cos inverse, cot inverse, cosec inverse, your answer must be from 0 to pi means first quadrant and second quadrant. So in first quadrant it is a positive and here there is a negative. Okay, so be careful about this and write the solution according to that. You have to revise all these topics. Which topics? There are questions, find the joint equation, find the separate equation. Auxiliary equation, this equation is very important. bm square plus 2hm plus a equals to 0. Why? Because using this equation, there are so many examples which we can solve very easily. Even from this equation, we get two roots, m1 and m2. The relation between m1 and m2, m1 plus m2 equals to what? Minus 2h upon b, and m1 m2 equals to what? A upon b. Right? So using these two conditions, we can prove number of examples. We can solve number of examples, or there are some examples prove that. If you 100 times h square minus ab equals to 4h square, prove that results. So with the help of this, which kind of sums are there? Slope of one of the line is twice the slope of the another line. Slope of the one line is what? Square root of the cube root of the another line. Then we will use these formulas and solve the examples. Then angle between two lines, you know the formula. General equation. Then condition for perpendicular and parallel. So what is perpendicular condition? A plus b equals to 0. For parallel what? H square minus ab equals to 0. Point of intersection wala formula. hf minus bg upon ab minus s square. Similarly, y coordinate formula. And then find the value of k if it represents a pair of line. Find p and q if it represents a perpendicular line. Okay, so this kind of examples are there in pair of line chapter. So you go through these topics so that you can prepare and you will get the full marks of this chapter. You know the weightage, it's for 6 marks. Okay, so 12 marks are there for this chapter. Why? Because it's very lengthy. Actually not lengthy, there are so many concepts are there, and you learn vectors from 11th standard. In physics you learn vectors, so 50% study you have done in 11th only. Now in 12th we prove the theorems and we solve some examples in detail. In detail means what? What is a collinear vectors? What is coplanar vectors? So how to show vectors are collinear? So one vector is scalar multiple of other, then the vectors are collinear. A bar equals to lambda b bar. If three vectors are provided, a bar, b bar, c bar, convert three vectors into what? AB bar and AC bar, and show that AB bar is scalar multiple of AC bar, like this. So convert two vectors, three vectors in terms of two vectors, four vectors in terms of three in terms of two, and then we can show that vectors are collinear. There is an alternate method that cross product is 0, then also vectors are collinear. Okay, so what is the way to show vectors are coplanar? So vectors are coplanar we can show by one shortcut method, that is what? If box product is 0, then vectors are coplanar. Two vectors are always coplanar. The question never asks for two. Three vectors are given, four vectors are given. If three vectors are given, this box is 0. You know how to solve this box, the determinant. Okay. If four vectors are given, a bar, b bar, c bar, d bar, then convert these four vectors in terms of three vectors. That is what? ab bar, ac bar, and ad bar. If this box product is 0, then these vectors are coplanar. So this is the way to show the vectors are coplanar. Then section formula for internal division, for internal external division. So suppose the question is like this: c bar equals to 3a bar plus 4b bar upon 7. If some equation is given, suppose the equation is 3a bar plus 4b bar equals to 7c bar, then find in which ratio c divides ab. C divides ab. Guess the answer. So many students write 3:4. So 3:4 is right, or 4:3 is right? What is the formula? MB bar. MB bar. So for AB, the ratio is 4:3, and if it is asked BA, then it is 3:4. Be careful. Most of the students lose their marks in such a silly mistakes. Okay. Then you know angle between vectors, a bar dot b bar upon their magnitude. You know the formula. Projection of vectors, a bar dot b bar upon their modulus. Okay. Area of parallelogram, area of triangle, vector triple product, volume of parallelepiped tetrahedron, and DRS and DCS. So DRS and DCS is very important. Why? Because if you do not understand DRS and DCS, you can't understand the next that is sixth chapter, line and plane. So line and plane is totally based on this concept, DRS and DCS, direction ratios and direction cosines. So these two topics are very important. Actually everything is important, but for next chapter this is important. Okay, so here there is no need to explain again, or go through the formulas, read the questions carefully and what, solve them properly. Don't forget to write A bar, B bar, C bar. There are some students, they write A equals to lambda B, then A equals to A and B are what, collinear. This is not allowed. You have to write bar on each and every vector. In line plane, that DRS DCS is very important. So equation of lines, find the equation of line in vector form in Cartesian form, equation of plane, vector and Cartesian form, shortest distance between line, you know that formula, vector and Cartesian form again, distance between lines, distance between planes, length of perpendicular, foot of perpendicular, angle between line, angle between plane, angle between line and plane. So these are the concepts which if you go through it, you will get 10 marks. So this 10 marks and previous 12 marks actually the geometry part. Okay, vector geometry you can say. So in this vector geometry 22 marks questions are there, and for that you must know the mutual relation between vector as well as line and plane, their equations. Okay, so in board examination most of the time if you refer previous year question papers, you will find angle between two vectors, find angle between two lines, find angle between two planes P1 P2, find angle between line and plane. Okay, so when such a question is there, what is the logic behind this, how to remember this? So for vectors, two vectors will be like this, A bar and B bar. For lines, their equations will be given either in Cartesian form or in vector form. R bar equals to A bar plus lambda B bar. Second line will be R bar equals to A bar plus mu B bar. So these points will be different, vectors will be different, one B1 bar, B2 bar. For plane, what is the equation? R bar dot what? N bar equals to A bar dot N bar. And second equation will be R bar dot N bar equals to A bar dot N bar. Same form, only these normals will be different, N1, N2, N1, N2. So this point will be same or different, A1, A2. Okay, and the line and plane, one equation is given, means line is given, R bar equals to A bar plus lambda B bar, and plane is given, R bar dot N bar equals to A bar dot N bar. So how to find out angle between any two vectors? What is the formula? Cos theta equals to dot product of these two, A bar dot B bar upon mod A bar mod B bar. This is for vectors, A bar and B bar. For second, both the lines, we take this coefficient of lambda and me. So B1 bar dot B2 bar upon mod B1 bar mod B2 bar. For these two planes, take this normals. What? N1 bar dot N2 bar upon mod N1 bar and mod N2 bar. Look, the three formulas are same, only vectors are different because in vectors are provided. In line, coefficient of lambda and mu. In planes, this normal, and in line and plane, coefficient of lambda and thus normal, angle between them. But when you find out angle between line and plane, we have to use sin theta, and these three are for cos theta equals to all are cos theta, and this is only sin theta. Why this is sin theta? Actually we are not going to calculate the angle between line and plane. We are calculating the angle between what? Line and normal, R bar and what? B bar and N bar. So angle between B bar and N bar means angle between normal and angle between line we calculate. So the difference between, normal is perpendicular, so angle is 90. So there is difference of 90 degree. So cos 90 minus theta, sin theta. That's why this is sin theta. So be careful about this while calculating this. In LPP, there are two types of examples. LPP problem is given, you have to solve graphically, and sometimes word problem is given. So word problems are of two type. Type number one, formulate the LPP. Only formulate means what? You have to prepare the LPP model. max z equals to something, subject to that constraint, last constraint x greater than equals to 0, y greater than equals to 0. That is called as formation. But sometimes there are some examples, or in some question papers, if you find there are some questions like this for the LPP model, as well as you have to solve it graphically. So it depends on paper setter. So whether that question is there, read question carefully, formulate as well as solve graphically. So this is about M1. So in M2, very important part is what? You must know all the formulas. How many formulas are there? 50, 100, 1000. How many formulas are there? Only basic 15 formulas are there. Derivative of constant x, 1 by x, root x, x raised to n. These 5 are called as algebraic formulae. Next two, e raised to x, a raised to x. They are called as exponential formulae. Log x to the base a. These two are called as logarithmic formulae. And remaining 6 trigonometric, sin, cos, tan, sec, cosec, cot. So if you remember all that 15 formulas, you can easily solve all the examples. These 15 formulas plus inverse trigonometry formulas are there. Total 6 inverse trigonometry formulas are there. 6. So out of these 6, if you remember only 3, you can write the what? You can remember the remaining 3 also. Sin inverse, sin cos inverse is same, only there is a change in sign. Tan inverse, cot inverse is same, only there is a change in sign. Sec inverse, cosec inverse is same, only there is a change in sign. So that's why all formulas are important. Then types, you just go through these types. You have to revise chain rule वाले sums कौन से है, inverse function वाले कौन से है, log वाले कौन से है, implicit वाले कौन से है, parametric कौन से है, higher order कौन से है. So if you are able to identify the type, then and then you can solve the example based on these derivatives. Okay, so for example, in example is given x equals to a sin theta, y equals to b tan theta. Find dy by dx. So there are some students, sir, हमको समझ में नहीं आता है कि how to remember that type, or we are confused. ये use करना है, वो use करना है. How you are confused? No need to confuse. What? It is very crystal clear. A sin theta, b cos theta. What is given? What is the type of this function? They are parametric, so we solve by parametric. If such a equation is given, x square plus xy equals to sin of x plus y, find dy by dx. If such a sum is there, how to solve this sum? This x and y is together, combined, mix, so it is called as implicit function. So it is the implicit function. When there is a sin inverse of something, cos inverse of something, so if inverse of something is there, they are based on inverse trigonometry. And if function of function is there, sin of log x, cos of log x, tan of e raised to x, if such a sums are there, we can solve them with the help of chain rule. Okay, and higher order means what? Double derivative. And nth order means nth derivative. So while finding nth derivative, you have to calculate 1, 2, 3 derivatives, and by generalizing, you can write the nth derivative. While finding nth derivative, don't take product of numbers. Means suppose y equals to sin 2x plus 5. Find out its nth derivative. So what is first derivative? First derivative is dy by dx. It is what? Cos of 2x plus 5 multiplied by 2. Then we write this cos in terms of sin by adding, you know what? Complementary angles. So we reduce in terms of sin. It is what? 1 pi by 2 plus 2x plus 5 as it is. Then find second derivative y2. So this 2 as it is. Derivative of sin is again cos. This is what? Pi by 2 plus 2x plus 5, right? And what? Again multiple of x is 2. So it is into 2. Don't write 4, write 2 square. And again convert this as 2 square into sin of 1 more pi by 2. 1 pi by 2 is there. So 2 pi by 2. Don't cancel this 2, right? 2 pi by 2 plus 2x plus 5. And by observing this, you can write the nth derivative. What will be nth derivative? 2 raised to n, n pi by 2, 2x plus 5, like this. Okay, so this is the way to write the nth derivative. Then application, total 6 applications are there. There are some students, they are afraid of derivative. The derivative is very difficult. I am unable to remember the formula. So can I learn this application of derivatives? The answer is yes. Why? Because very simple, means if you know x raised to n, derivative of x raised to n, e raised to x, log x, only 2-3 formulas are known to you. You can solve each and every example of this application. Only these basic formulas are important, 2-3 formulas. So tangent and normal, you know how to find equation of tangent, equation of normal. Sometimes tangent, equation of tangent is given, then find the coordinates where it is touching to that given curve. Or sometimes what happened, both are given, find out the value of unknown k वगैरह. So that examples are there. Then rate measure, you know rate measure sums. So that examples, spherical balloon, spherical bubble, sphere, the ladder is there, leaning on the wall. So that kind of sums are there. We can solve that sums here. In increasing decreasing, strictly increasing is asked or only increasing is asked. If increasing is there, what is there? We take f dash of x greater than equals to 0. And if strictly word is used, then we take only greater than 0. For increasing, for decreasing what? Less than 0, less than equals to 0. Okay. Monotonically increasing, monotonically decreasing. Strictly means monotonically. So read the questions. Then mean value theorem. There are, you know, the two mean value theorems are there, Rolle's theorem and Lagrange's theorem. So do not forget to write that conditions. 1, 2, 3 conditions are there for Rolle's theorem. Function is continuous on closed interval, function differential on open interval, and third condition f of a equals to f of b. These three conditions are satisfied, then this theorem is applicable. And if you apply this LMVT, then only first two conditions are there. Third condition no need to use. No need to use means what? Actually we need that when you find out that c, f dash of c equals to what? F of b minus f of a upon b minus a. So that value here, the third condition is f of a equals to f of b. If f of a and f of b is same, it becomes 0. That's why in f dash of c equals to 0 in Rolle's theorem. They are similar. 99% similarity is there. Only a slight change is there. What is the change? Just I discussed. Okay. So remember these three. When the question is check the applicability, verify whether their theorem is applicable or not. When applicable word is there, then only satisfy these conditions. And if verify Rolle's theorem, then you have to find out this value of c. Verify Lagrange's theorem, then don't forget to find the value of c. Here, this is your favorite approximation. F of a plus h approximately equals to f of a plus h into f dash of a. Using this formula, you can solve the examples. And maxima minima, it's very simple actually. Maxima and minima. In maxima and minima, what to do? Here, f of x is given, or you have to prepare f of x. If word problems are given, f of x is not given, so you have to prepare function. Once you are getting f of x, find out f dash of x, f double dash of x. Then equate f dash of x equal to 0, find the value of x. Whatever the value of x, substitute in f double dash of x. If it is positive, then it has minima, and negative, then it has maximum. So go through these steps so that you can score all marks of maxima and minima. Okay. When you solve word problems, don't forget to take let r be the radius, h be the height, l be the slant height, then whatever the mutual relation between them, you have to write that mutual relation and then solve the examples. Okay, so this is the way to prepare these applications of derivatives. While you solving the examples, sometimes it is given in centimeter, in meter, so don't forget to write the answer in meter, centimeter also. Means that unit itself, whatever the unit is given to you, use the same unit to write the answer, final answer. Integration, same as derivative. If you prepare all the formula of derivative, then and then you are able to prepare the formula of what? Integration, because it is exactly the opposite. Derivative of sine is cos, hence integration of cos is sine. You know this, no need to explain this. Okay, again there are what? Types. So what type? By definition means what? Just I explained you, derivative of sine is cos, that's why integration of cos is sine. Okay, so using derivative, antiderivative, by definitions we can solve that examples, or by using formulas you can solve the examples. Simple trigonometric functions means what? There are so many examples, for that we need a trigonometric formula. For example, integration of sine square x dx. Can we integrate this directly? The answer is no. What to do? You have to use trigonometric formula. What is the formula? 1 minus cos 2 theta upon 2, and now integrate this. Okay, so sometimes we are unable to integrate this, means same example, integration of sine root x. So we can't integrate this directly. Okay, so here no trigonometric formula is applicable. So in this case we have to use substitution. What is substitution? Put root x equals to t, and by simplifying you will get t sine t, and you know how to integrate this by parts. Okay, so methods are important. These are the methods. These three corollaries are very important. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so using these corollaries, Not only in 12th standard, after 12th standard, whenever you learn mathematics, these corollaries are very, very important. Using these corollaries, we can directly solve the example. Okay, so they are important. Where we use this, in next slide I will show you where we use these corollaries. Then example, just I explain you, by parts you have to solve. Then using this formula, means suppose e raised to x tan x plus sec square x or 1 plus tan square x, such an example is there in your textbook. If you want to integrate this, so actually if you solve by parts method or direct method, it becomes very complicated. And if you solve by this formula, this is f of x, this is f of x and this is f dash of x. What is the answer? You know, e raised to x into f of x. So using this property, using this formula, using this theorem, we can easily solve the example. Then partial fraction is there. So in partial fraction, you know how to write this: a upon plus b upon, a upon plus b upon plus c upon, here a upon b upon and then c upon, like this, and find out the value of ABC. Here this is the concept, what? Roots are linear. Here roots are linear, 2 roots are there, 3 roots are there, 2 factors are there, 3 factors are there. Here roots are linear but one root is repeated. So, and here one is linear and other is quadratic. So for that, you know, a upon plus bx plus c upon, you know how to convert, how to find out ABC. The condition is, whenever you use partial fraction, degree of numerator must be degree less than degree of denominator. Means, for example, the question is like this: x square plus 5 upon x minus 3 into x plus 7. So can you solve by partial fraction? The answer is no. Why? Its degree is 2, its degree is 2. First you have to simplify this. Means degree is same, what to do? Take division. Degree is more, then also take division. And then if degree of numerator is less, then we use partial fraction method. So there are this kind of examples in indefinite integral. If first type of example is there, what we do here? So in this case, we adjust the angle of denominator in numerator. I repeat, we adjust the angle of denominator in numerator. For example, sine of x minus 3 or x minus a b, 3, any number, and denominator is cos of x plus b. So you have to adjust x plus b in numerator. Means what? Sine of x plus b. So you add b, you have to subtract b, and this minus a plus a, water it as it is. Take this as alpha, this as beta, and use sine alpha beta and simply solve this. So whether both are sine, both are cosine, one is sine, other is cos, then also we can solve this. So this is the way to remember this type. In these two types, what to do? We express numerator. Numerator equals to a into derivative of denominator plus b into denominator, or vice versa, a into denominator plus b into derivative of denominator. Express this, and here we use that corollary which I showed you in what? Previous slide. So f dash of x upon f of x, derivative of denominator is there, so use f dash upon f of x. Same in this case. What happened? We express numerator as a into what? D dx of quadratic expression plus b. Quadratic, not, because in both the cases we use the same formula. Don't take denominator. Here denominator is okay, but here we are not going to take the root. We are going to take only the quadratic expression. Find out this AB and use the corollary. So this type and this one, based on corollaries and based on these two formulas. Okay, what about these three? In these three cases, what to do? We are finding third term, computing square method, and we are use the formulas. Okay, in these two cases, so many students are confused. When cos square sin square is there, divide numerator and denominator by cos square. I repeat, if square term is there, then divide numerator and denominator by cos square. You can divide by sin square also, obviously. And when there is not square, only a cos b sin, such a kind of expression is there. In this case, you have to put tan x by 2 equals to t. You know further process how to solve this. So don't confuse in these two types of examples. Okay, so this is about infinite integral. Now in definite integral, all the formulas by definition means if you know indefinite integral, then you can solve the examples of this. What is the change? Here in indefinite integral and in definite integral, the difference is we put upper limit and lower limit. So upper limit minus lower limit. This is the additional step in what? Definite integral when you solve the examples. But even though there are some examples which cannot be solved directly or by previous knowledge or by previous method, previous types. So how to solve them? With the help of properties. So you know these properties. Using these properties, there are so many examples which we can easily solve. Okay, means for example, if the example is like this, 0 to pi by 2 and 1 upon 1 plus nth root of tan x dx. Can you integrate this directly? The answer is not. So we write this tan x as sine upon cos, then we get what? Cos nth root of cos upon nth root of sine plus nth root of, then use this property because it is from 0 to pi by 2. So use this property. So adding equation 1 and 2, after adding, numerator and denominator get cancelled and we are getting 1. You know integration of 1. When you are adding equation 1 and 2, left hand side becomes 2i and right hand side gets some answer. Suppose if you solve this sum, then you are getting 1. Integration of 1 is x, limit from 0 to pi by 2, your answer is pi by 2. So some students keep this answer as it is. Here the value is 2i, we want integral, so you have to find the value of I. So do not forget to divide by 2, it becomes pi by 4. So your pi by 4 is the correct answer. So instead of 0 to pi by 2, pi by 3 to, pi by 6 to pi by 3, such a value is there, then we use this property. You know, when we use this property, when the example is like this, what? Minus 2 plus 5, 5, 7, 7, 8, 8, pi by 2, pi by 2. In that case, kind of sums, we use this property. And we know, if sum is odd, then it is God for you. Why? Because we write direct answer 0. But if function is even, you have to write 2 times. Instead of minus a to plus a, it becomes 0 to a. And what happened? We have to solve by property or something like that. And you will get the answer. And the fourth one is the property. Most time this property asked in examination to prove only. And there is only one type of example for this property. That is what? Log of sine from 0 to pi by 2. So we can solve this sum using this property only. Log of sine, log of cos, log of sec, log of cosec. So that sums we can solve with the help of this property. There is no other sum to solve by last property. That is the fourth property. Then application of definite integral. In definite integral, find the area. That kind of sums are there. So what is the area? Area bounded by x-axis, area bounded by y-axis, or area between two curves. So for example, find the equation of parabola. Find the area bounded by parabola y square equals to 4x and the line x equal to 1. So x equals to 1. So which area you have to calculate? You have to calculate upper as well as lower. So we can calculate only upper one, and by taking twice we calculate the upper area and we are getting the answer. Why? We take both the areas upper and lower because it is asked area bounded by parabola and the line. If there is additional line, area bounded by this parabola, line and x-axis, then we take only upper part. Y-axis, then we take only that part. So depends on question. Read the question carefully. There are some students, they ask, sir, is it necessary to draw the diagram when we solve the example of application of definite integral? Dear friends, if you draw the diagram, we can easily decide the region. So my suggestion is, if possible, draw the figure so that you can decide the region. Okay. So when area between two curves, suppose area between two parabolas, this upper parabola, this is lower parabola, this area we want. So find out this point, upper minus lower. Sometimes we add, sometimes we subtract. So you know which area you have to calculate. Your favorite, order and degree. But read the question carefully. Order degree never be in fraction, never be in negative power, never be in denominator. If it is there, then take LCM, shift LHS to RHS, squaring, cubing, and then decide order and degree. Okay, formation of differential equation. How to form the differential equation? We can form the differential equation by differentiating the equation how many times? Number of arbitrary constant times. How many arbitrary constants are there? Means for example, y square equals to 4ax. So only one constant is there. You have to differentiate this and eliminate a. If another example, y equals to a e raised to x plus b e raised to minus x. So two arbitrary constants are take, differentiate twice and eliminate a and b, like this. Solution of differential equation. When you solve differential equation, we have this method: variable separable, substitution. Substitution extension is this homogeneous. Variable separable means we can shift, we can collect all x terms on one side, all y terms on another side, and then we are getting the solution. In substitution method, it is not, we are not able to use this first method, variable separable. By using some proper substitution, we can make it in variable separable form, and we solve the by previous method. In homogeneous, it is fixed. Y equals to Vx we put. Homogeneous means what? Degree of that equation is same. Degree of each and x square plus y square upon x square minus y square. This is dy by dx. So if you observe, degree of each term is same, 2, 2, 2, 2. So in this case, we put y equals to Vx and we can solve. And LDE, linear differential equation, there are two types of LDE equations. So on LDE, find the integrating factor. Such a kind of question is there in examination, or solve by LDE. There are some examples which can be solved by this one of the method or by LDE. Or LDE example can be solved by previous method. So methods are not mentioned in the question. You have to decide. You have to solve by LDE or by variable separable or by using some substitution, or by, if it is homogeneous, then by using substitution y equals to Vx. In application of differential equation, there are three applications: growth, decay, and decay means again one more additional application is there, Newton's law of cooling. So you learn this in physics, you are very well known by this law. So using these laws, we can find the temperature of the body, temperature of the whatever the object is given to you. Okay, decreasing decay, the radium decomposes, that kind of some example is there. Growth, population increases, bacteria increases, so that examples are there. So prepare that examples properly so that you can solve the example based on this applications of differential equation. Probability distribution and binomial distribution, they are very similar to each other. Why similar? We discuss one by one. In probability distribution, there is a random variable. You know random variable, when you know the definition, no need to discuss that definition. So there are two types of random variable, discrete and continuous. Discrete means what? X equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is a gap, there is a jump, there is a break, then it is called a discrete. And it's the same. I write if I have 1 less than 4, means all the values between 1 and 4. 1.1 is there, 2.5 is there, root 3 is there. Are you getting this? Pi is there, 3.14, that value is also there. So it is called as continuous. The name itself, continuous, no break, no gap. Okay. So for discrete random variable, there is a probability distribution function, namely PMF. We call this as PMF. PMF means what? Probability mass function. And for this, we call PDF, probability density function. What is PMF? PMF means what? The two conditions must be satisfied. Two conditions. All the probabilities lies between 0 to 1. And second, the summation is 1. And in PDF, means in CRV, the condition is what? That whatever the function is given to you, it must be positive. Its value more than 1 is also possible. Here between 0 to 1, here 10, 100, 1000, whatever the value it is allowed. And second, the integral, whatever the integral is given to you, that integral must be 1. That integral is 1. Remember this. Okay. What is CDF? CDF means capital F of small x. This is nothing but probability of x less than equals to x in both the cases. Then expected value. How to find out expected value? You know the formula. E of x equals to summation xi pi. What is variance? Variance of x equals to what? E of x square minus E of x whole square. Remember this. This is x square. This is this expected value square. How to find out this E of x square? E of x square equals to summation xi square pi. This is xi pi, xi square pi. You prepare table or you write vertical, horizontal, depends on you. And the last one is a standard deviation. What is standard deviation? Standard deviation is root of variance. Okay. So this expected value is also called as mean, and it is denoted by mu. This variance is denoted by sigma square and standard deviation sigma. Okay. Now the last one is the binomial distribution. So in this binomial distribution, it is a discrete random variable. So it is nothing but the application of last chapter, that is probability distribution. What is the difference between both? So in binomial distribution and in probability distribution, it is not mentioned using binomial distribution solve the sum, using probability distribution solve the sum. You have to decide which is applicable. There are word problems. If word problems are not there, it is very easy to decide by binomial or by direct method, that previous probability distribution method. So what is the difference? In binomial distribution, what happened? The experiment is repeated n times. Means for example, coin toss 5 times, 7 times, 10 times. What target is hit 5 times, 3 times, 7 times, like that. So when there is a repetition of experiment, then we use binomial distribution. This is one more reason. Another, we can say, if any experiment which gives only 2 results, success and failure, if we are getting only 2 results, then also we have to use binomial distribution only. Okay, so the probability of success is denoted by P, probability of failure is denoted by Q. So use these 3 parameters N, P, Q. And what is PMF of this? P of capital X equal to small x, N C x, P raised to x, Q raised to n minus x, and n equals to 0, 1, 2, dot, dot, up to n. This is PMF. Okay, what is the expected value? You know this, very favorite. Why? It's very easy to find. NP is, and NPQ is the variance, and its square root is the what? Standard deviation. So using this technique, we can easily solve the example. Okay, so I hope you understand how to revise complete M1 and M2 in minimum time, which topics are important, on which topic you should give the full concentration. So that is very important. So time management, so it depends on you actually. This is one possible case is given to you. So we have total 180 minutes and 10 times extra, 10 minutes are extra. So it depends on this year. Up to last year, they are giving 10 minutes before the examination or 10 minutes after the examination. So it depends on board policy. So at least we have 180 minutes. So in this 180 minutes, we have to solve all the 4 sections A, B, C, D. In section A, there are 8 MCQs, 4 1-mark questions, 12 2 marks, 3 marks questions, 8 4 marks questions. Out of these 8, we have to complete all art. Out of 4, you have to solve all these 4. Out of 12, 8, out of 12, 8, out of 8, 5. Total, you have to solve. Total, you have to write the answer of 33 examples, 33 questions. Yes, 33 answers you have to write. 33 examples you have to solve. Then and then you can score 80 out of 80 marks. Okay. So this is my opinion. It depends on you. You decide how much time you are going to give for each and every section. 30 minutes for section is sufficient. For section B, 40 minutes. Section C, 50 minutes. Section D, 40 minutes. So total, if you calculate, total 180 minutes are not covered. Few minutes are remaining. So for that remaining time, what to do? Check whether you have written the answer of each and every question properly. And if you have extra time, then solve the extra questions. Here, out of 12, you have to attempt any 8. But if you solve extra, and if you make some mistake in previous question, then we are going to count the extra wala question. Okay, so that your marks will be increased. So wish you all the best for your board exam. So I hope you understand each and every concept properly. You have prepared properly. So be calm. So when you appear for examination, don't panic. म्हणजे काय, खूप वेळा असं होतं की पालक आता झोप, आता हे थोडं दूध पी, बदाम खा वगैरे वगैरे. आता ही ती वेळ नाही आहे. आता जस्ट फक्त काय करायचं तुम्हाला, रिवाइज ऑल द टॉपिक्स प्रॉपरली, थरली. आणि मग काय होईल, व्यवस्थित तुम्ही रिव्हिजन केलं तरच तुम्हाला व्यवस्थित परीक्षेला लिहिता येईल. सो विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट फ्रॉम मी ॲज वेल ॲज फ्रॉम गणितांक. बाय बाय, ऑल द बेस्ट.